Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel, and if it's your first time here, hey, thank you very much for stopping by. My name is Garrick, and I take pictures from time to time. So, this week is part 2 from my trip to Old State Prison in Joliet, Illinois. This prison was featured in movies like The Blues Brothers. So it's a fairly famous prison, and I've finally taken advantage of living not too far away from it and going to do the old tour. When I think about this prison, or any prison for that matter, or the current state of the United States, I think about getting out. I think about good and evil, light and dark. Getting out of the dark and into the light. Hopelessness, loss of identity, desperation. You know, joyful things. So when you see me in a tight hallway, crouched over my tripod, it's not simply to show off my physique. It's actually to capture that light, looking at the exit, the bright light going to the exit, taking you from the darkness to the light and the exit sign. And also I'm trying to show you the pattern with the dark and the light on the ceiling and the floor, leading you down the hallway to the exit where you can get out of the darkness. After that, I ran into an old friend who was just hanging around, and I decided to use those same principles to shoot this room. Meaning I was going to expose for the room itself, knowing that it was going to blow out the highlights of the door, the exit area, and I was definitely using the darkness of the door on the right and the desk or tabletop to the left in the foreground. And those dark spots were leading the viewer's eye to the doorway, to the light, where you want to get out of the darkness. So this next shot was taken of me as I took a moment to step on this bathroom scale that I found in this off room. After contemplating my food choices over the last 30 or 35 years, I decided it was time to hit the gym. So I walked outside and I found this composition here. What I really liked about it was the geometry between the poles and the shadows of the poles, and how the guard tower was framed up nicely within the jungle gym here. So this one also speaks to that loneliness and desperation that I talked about earlier. This one simply reminds me of the facade on the Twin Towers in New York. I processed it in Silver FX Pro to add a little bit of warmth and a little bit of contrast. Then it was off to the prison chapel, which they say is extremely haunted. And despite the misinformation out on the internet, this is not where I got married. But it is where I did my very best to create a somewhat haunting image of this prison chapel. I have no idea what that stuff hanging from the ceilings is, but I certainly emphasized it in my processing. I boosted the highlights on it and tried to make those subjects of the image. And you can see here I had a jangly setup with my tripod to get this shot. Oh God, no luck.
fuck. Everything feels like you're sticky stuck. I'm lost, handcuffed to the bed where I sleep. Don't give a fuck, can't stop. Unplug, feeling overwhelmed. I think I've had enough. Gotta find a way to get some energy. Gotta find someone who's a good friend of me. I need purpose to make it all worth it. I'm still searching and I'm still learning. I want a life that's filled with memories, not a life with regret and frenemies. I need focus to keep me from hopeless psychosis if I keep moping. I got nightmares in my head.
Alright, then it was off to where the inmates were spending most of their time. And again, I fell in love with the grittiness and despair and loneliness of this scene. But again, there was also a light at the end of this tunnel. And so I was trying to capture the darkness and going to the end of the tunnel, going towards the light, and this is what I came up with.
Sometimes it could be a little tough. I just need to feel like the end's in sight for me. But let's be really real, anxiety can foggy all this stuff.
So what can only be described as a momentary lapse of reason, I decided to try a cell out for myself. I hung up my glasses and got to the very back of the cell and was about to take an image, and this guy walked by out of nowhere and totally scared the shit out of me. So I should probably show you that image now. It's not bad. Definitely not great. I processed it to make it look older than it really was. I don't know. I think I probably would have processed it differently, but I mean, I wanted it dark, but I don't know if I wanted it this dark. Let me know what you think. So I wanted to take a few pictures looking into the cell to show how small and cramped and desolate and awful it was, and none of the pictures that I took really showed the mood that I was looking for. So I just decided to give the composition a hand. So then it was time for my Saul Leiter moment. And if I haven't talked about it on this channel, I'm a huge fan of Saul Leiter. He's a street photographer who did a lot of work in New York, and what he liked to do was feature yellows and reds and colors like that. He did a lot of abstract things, and he has just been a big favorite of mine for a long time. And here is my ode to Saul Leiter, and if he were to see this, he'd smack me right upside the head, but anyway, I'm working on it. So then it was time for me to get up and get out of this haunted, desolate temple of doom and get back up to where civilization was. And that sign right there is certainly not needed in my opinion, but what the heck, let's make like geese and get the flock out of here. Alright everybody, hey, that's going to do it for another video. Thank you very much for stopping by from Old State Prison in Joliet, Illinois. Thank you very much for stopping by the channel. I hope you enjoyed the images. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, drop me a like, drop me a comment. If you've not done so already, hit the old subscribe button so you see the next video when it comes out. And with that, hey, I am Garrick, and I am your very best friend in the whole wide world. So we'll see you soon, everybody. Take care. Bye-bye. Sometimes it could be a little tough. I just need to feel
in sight for me, but let's be really real, anxiety can foggy all this stuff. It sucks when you finally feel like giving up. Oh God, no luck, everything feels like you're sticky stuck. I'm lost, handcuffed